I've moved past a pretty major crossroads in my life. I'm back in school, and not to brag, but I'm currently doing well. Just got accepted for a research initiative, it's great. I'm working at a steel yard to support that, which is exhausting, but it's keeping me grounded, so I'm managing. Almost every aspect of my life has advanced substantially. And on one hand, I am so delighted about that. But on the other, I don't know where that leaves YouTube, where it leaves this channel. And I just want to talk about that for a bit, because frankly, I'm at a loss as to what to do. Because I don't want to stop, is the thing. This would be so much simpler if that were the case. But I also know it needs to change, because I've changed. I don't know what that future looks like, but I do know what my goals are. So I'm just going to lay those goals out, see what people think. Maybe some other people have good ideas, I don't know. Just let me ramble, I need to sort my thoughts out. Number one, I guess, big one here. On a fundamental level, I don't value video games the same way I used to. For most of my life, games have been a form of escapism for me. Jump into a world, lose myself in it, forget the nasty real-life stuff for a bit. And my content has followed suit. It's largely just been about imagining things that could be. But I don't really have a need for that anymore. I like where my life is going, I don't need to escape it. And I've noticed as that transition has happened, I've got less of a spark for talking about ideas that don't exist, and more a desire to talk about things that do. Maybe do a bit more critique, highlight cool games, get outside of my comfort zone. There's not really a gentle way to put this, so I'll say it outright. I don't care as much about the kinds of videos I used to make. Which isn't to say that conceptual stuff is worthless to me now or anything, it's still fun, I enjoy it. I just can't commit to it anymore. I can't keep up the investment in an idea to see a video through from scripting to editing to completion. It just takes too long. I burn out and lose interest. So I need to come up with a format that allows for more immediate discussion of ideas. Current idea floating around in my head is a round table series, maybe? Some kind of live discussion of a single idea, take a template and brainstorm with an audience, or maybe a spin-off of Peasant's Perspective, where everyone throws their hat into a ring about a single topic. We covered a couple of Olimar ideas simultaneously before. It'd be a bit like that. Maybe do a 5 to 10 minute intro video to the topic to share my thoughts, which are then followed by the live stream to build off them. I don't know, it's very early stages of that idea, but that's currently what's kicking around in my head. Number two, I want to talk about more serious stuff when it comes to media. And to be clear, I'm not talking like politics or activism or anything like that. But for example, imagine a brainstorm about toxicity in multiplayer games and ways developers could fight against it. I think too many favor a stick over a carrot in that regard, and it would be interesting to study some psychology around what might work here. Or another example. I've talked about doing a video about how cultures and mythologies are showcased in media. I'd love to triple down on that and talk about what works and what doesn't. Topics that have a bit more oomph to them, that get into some personal and societal values, that have stakes. Very much just a thought experiment at this stage, but I want to be a bit braver with the kind of content I make. I know as a person I have a hard time handling conflict, which has played a huge part in the loosey-goosey, for fun sort of content I've made, but I don't want to keep treating that aversion as a barrier for my life anymore. Conflict is inevitable, and my past approach has made my ability to handle them worse at best and catastrophic at worst. And the only real way to get over a personal flaw is to not accept it, to work at it, to practice. And I think this is a good avenue to do that. Plus, I like the idea of having an argument on campus and being able to pull a fully edited video out of my pocket to make my case. Number 3, this doesn't affect most of my viewers, but for those it does, I want to be forthcoming about my reasons. I don't have a lot of free time anymore. At any time I can scrounge up to dedicate to this platform, I want to be actively making or doing something. not passively participating. As such, I am planning on only interacting with my audience through direct content moving forward. This mainly comes down to Discord. This is nobody's fault, nobody should feel guilty, but I've hit a point where I'm afraid to go online on Discord out of fear of how many messages I'll see thrown my way. I'm not a very social person on my best days, and with my current life, I just don't have the mental energy anymore. There's too many of you. I've made myself too accessible to my audience, and I need to cut that back to stay sane. Plus, the more I've been building myself up and away from being terminally online, the more I've just hated the negative qualities of being online, the negative habits it encourages. Which I would argue is a good thing, but I've caught myself taking that frustration out on random people, displaying those habits. And that kind of powder keg outburst feedback is just me being a dick. It's not constructive, it's not healthy, it's a poor example to set. And in the face of an unhealthy outlet for my frustrations about this platform, I'd rather just remove the outlet from my life altogether. Again, I don't think I'm currently good at handling conflict. And in my quest to improve, I don't think chat forums and DMs are a healthy avenue to do so. Now, this doesn't mean that people aren't going to get to talk to me ever again. This is why I'm kicking around the ideas of some kind of roundtable content. This is just me doing some long overdue trimming of some severe social overstimulation. I'm currently not sure what form this will take, but baseline, I'm definitely going to leave any forums I frequented in the past. I might cull my contacts across all platforms to include just family and friends. And at the most, I might just delete my current accounts and make new private ones. Again, this is nothing personal, I don't want anyone to take it that way. I just cannot mentally handle having this much free-form one-on-one communication with so many people. It's too much! It's too much. That's the end-all be-all, really. It's just too much. And that's it. Just the 3 things, set to go into effect who fucking knows when. Time is scarce and energy is scarcer. I'm much happier now, but dear God, I'm tired. This change of direction probably will not affect Design Dorks or Peasant's Perspective, and all is still very much subject to change. Sorry to follow an update with another update, but a bunch of you support me financially with memberships, which I appreciate, so I want to be fully transparent about what I'm planning to do with the channel. And currently that plan is a bunch of scattered question marks and half-baked ideas. Let me know thoughts and feedback, any other directions I could take these goals, and I'll see y'all whenever I get the time to actually commit to any of them.